Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 12th of December 2018. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few charts as always. But before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then guys, let's quickly have a look at the markets. Now the first one I want to touch on is the CAC 40. Now the French index here, certainly it's performing quite well, let's put it that way. It's probably performing slightly better than its British and German counterparts. So you can see that the index has managed to push back above this key area of support that previously got broken, and then it acted as a very nice area of resistance and continues to act as a resistance, but now it's getting broken here, and the index continues to push higher. Now certainly it's not far from reaching this 21 EMA here, shown as the yellow line, and also this is not far from the 49.42 area approximately there. So this could be our next potential area of resistance, very good potential level to watch out for, especially if this is going to close this daily candle above this 48.96 level here. So this level here, the 48.96, is kind of going to be the one that we're going to be watching. Of course, for those who want to be who like round numbers, you could in a way round it up towards the 4900. Nevertheless, still, like I said, this 48.96 kind of acted as a very nice area of support here in the past, as you can see on the 20th of November and also on the 26th of October. So keep your eyes on that one. Especially keep your eyes on today's close. Let's see where this is going to end up the day. If it's going to stay above this, then yep, we could see some further acceleration here to the upside. Now, just to kind of show you that the upside could be slightly limited here due to this little downside resistance line here, very short-term one, but nevertheless something for us to keep an eye on, and that has been running here from the peak of the 17th of October. So a long story short, guys, for now, of course, this looks quite bullish, and it seems that it wants to recover a bit more. Let's see if it actually does that, but what we're going to aim for now is the 49.42 level first, but if that doesn't hold, further acceleration here to the upside could be possible, and this is, of course, we're going to aim for the psychological 5,000 level, and even going on, like I said, going all the way here towards this little downside, short-term downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 17th of October. So yep, for now, guys, keep your eyes on that one. Let's see how that plays out. If this suddenly stays below this below the 48.96 level, now certainly we could see maybe a bit of a correction here to the downside. Still, not all would be lost for the bulls. I mean, for us to, let's say, start considering much lower levels. Now I do have the 4806 level here marked, and just to kind of show you what was that level here, and that level was the low that we saw here around the 24th of February last year. So quite an interesting level here, as something for you guys to keep an eye on. So if we get a drop below that, this could open the path back down towards this area of support here, near the 47.35, which was marked here by the lows of Monday. Now, this could be an interesting one to watch, because if this gets broken, I mean, if we see further declines here to the downside, well, I mean, we could brace ourselves for some further declines. But at the moment, to be honest, at the moment, the the downside is slightly off the table. Let's see where this is gonna end up the day. Let's see if it's gonna stay actually above the 48.96 level. Jumping into WTI, and which is the US oil. So looking at this daily chart, you can see that overall, yep, we are still trading below this long-term upside support line that taken from the lows of the 10th of February 2016, and also we were trading below this short-term downside resistance line, but as you can see, the commodity kind of managed to drag itself through the line. So in a way, what we can probably do here is remove this line. Now it probably is going to be a bit irrelevant, let's put it that way, because what we're seeing here right now is a bit of a range. So the range between the 54.80 level on the upside here, and on the downside, let me just quickly drag this one here, and on the downside, this one right here at around 50.15. As you can see, the level, yes, the level was broken a few times here, but the daily candle never managed to kind of close below it. So this becomes quite an important area to watch, the 50.15. Let's see how that performs, but for now we're gonna stay put, and we're just gonna observe this price action, see how this plays out. And let me just kind of get rid of this line because this is a bit irrelevant now. So now we can see that this is a more clear picture. So in a way, from the more near-term perspective, so if we get a nice pop here above the 54.80 zone, then yep, we could potentially then target the 57.90, or even going out all the way here to test this long-term upside support line from underneath. So yep, could be an interesting trade here developing. But again, before we kind of start looking at the upside, further upside here, let's say going back into the 60s area, then we need to see this break first above the 54.80 level. On the downside, well, if this drops below the 50.15, this could be a worry sign for the bulls, and especially if the daily candle closes below this level. Now certainly for better confirmation, you could in a way wait until this moves below the 49.20 level, but again, you could, if we get a break below the 50.15, especially if we get a close below this level, then you could in a way start carefully looking for some potential levels underneath here. So, but again, with don't forget to have your stop losses here. So yep, keep an eye on this one, guys. It's quite an interesting one. I mean, let's see if this is going to actually mean that this now wants to reverse back up here. But to be honest, it's a bit too early to talk about that, because still we need to see this either a break here through the upper side here of this little range, or the lower bound of it. So yep, keep your eyes on that one. Jumping into a few pairs now. So the EURGBP, now this was a very interesting one. Looking at this daily chart here, you can see that we had after it broke this key area of resistance near the 0.8925 level, it kind of continued to push higher nicely here, strongly, but never managed to reach this in a way now becoming a psychological level, the 0.91 level. So it just fell shy of reaching that. I mean, it just fell shy of about something like 12 pips from reaching that level. Now of course, the 0.91 level is kind of quite important, because that was the highest point of this year. So yeah, we kind of fell shy of reaching that. So now we're seeing this retracement back down. We're seeing the pound is kind of strengthening against the euro here, but it's currently getting held here near this little area here around the 0.8995 mark, which was marked here by the highs of the 24th of September. So continue monitoring that level here. If this continues to travel further down, and we see this daily candle closing below this area, now this could be a bit of probably we could see more bulls abandoning the field here in favor of the bears, and we could see this one traveling lower. The only thing is here that could still support this this bullish idea is this little steep upside support line here. Now even if we get a nice drop here, and even if we're going to get a close here below this 0.8995 level, still continue monitoring this steep upside support line. In a way, maybe this could help the bulls to stay afloat here. But even if that doesn't hold, I mean, if we see further declines here below this upside support line, and especially if we're going to get a drop here below, let me just quickly mark that for our future reference, below this area here around the 0.8940 level. Now this is where you could start probably becoming more bearish here, and this is where we could start looking into much lower levels like the 0.8860 again, which was last time tested in the end of November, or even actually going a little bit lower here. So but of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. Let's see first what it wants to do with this 0.8995, if it wants to stay below it or not. If it does, still there is one last chance for the bulls to kind of hold on here, is this short-term steep upside support line. But if that doesn't help, then yep, I mean, we could see a bit of a rollover here and drop further down. Let's say if this holds, if the 0.8995 level holds today, and if, let's say, continues to hold tomorrow as well, now this could be a good sign for the bulls to jump in, for more bulls to jump in here, and maybe actually we could see this 0.91 level getting tested. Maybe that would be a good opportunity for the bulls to drive it further. But again, I will probably repeat myself, the 0.8995 level, this is going to be something for us to keep an eye on today, and let's see how that plays out. And yep, let's see if actually this is going to be a good sign for the bulls, or the bears are going to start taking control from further here. Jumping into USDCAD now, this one is an interesting one, and looking at this daily chart here, you can see that it's still climbing. Well, it was climbing higher. It's still within this rising channel formation, even though it is getting currently hit by a little bit of weakness. But to be honest, let me just jump into a 4-hour chart on this one, and this is the idea that we threw out today on TradingView here. So basically, the initial idea was a break below this area here, below the 133.66, which we managed to get. And of course, if this is going to stay here below that area, below the 133.66, certainly further declines could be possible. And of course, we could potentially aim even for the lows here, as low as the 132.50 level, which was marked here by the low of the 7th of December. Now this could be a potential good trade here, but again, keep your own head on your shoulders, let's put it that way. And this is just an idea, so you be the judge, guys. You do whatever you're comfortable with. But initially this was like the idea that we threw out here. Let's see if it plays out. But we do have a very tight stop loss, let's put it that way. We do have the stop loss here near the highs, around the highs of yesterday, around the 134.15 mark, something like that, approximately there. So basically, let's see if it plays out or not. But you can see that the first target, we managed to reach our first target here, the 133.35, 36 area. If this continues to travel further down here, and if we get a break below this 133.36 area, then our next little target here would be around the 132.95 area, approximately there. It's also, as you can see here on the 4-hour chart, it coincides here with the 100 EMA shown here as the green line. So yep, let's see if it actually continues to travel further down and maybe reaches our ultimate target here at around 132.50, which could also be around this lower side of the rising channel formation. So yep, for now, guys, keep your eyes on it. I can see a bit of recovery happening right now in this pair. If it gets back above the 133.66, and let's say if it closes the day above that level, probably scrap the whole idea here and probably this could eventually move back up here to test this little short-term downside resistance line first, taken from the high of the 6th of December. But if that doesn't hold, further acceleration to the upside here could be possible, where we could then test the highs of the same 6th of December, which were around the 134.45 area. So basically, for now, what the suggestion here is to keep on monitoring the 133.66 level and see what's going to happen with that one. And the last pair I want to quickly touch on, and that's GBP USD. So popping nicely to the upside here today. Certainly, as you probably understand, that there are a lot of developments around the Brexit and the UK political life. But that's kind of working in the opposite way here today on the British pound against the US dollar, so it's pushing nicely away from this support level that it found yesterday and managed to test today, the 124.75 area approximately there. So it's now pushing it nicely higher. Let's see where this day is going to end, because still for us, what we're keeping an eye on is the 126.60 level. Now this is the level right here. Let me just quickly mark that for our future reference. There we go. Didn't click on that. So there we go. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is the level that we're watching. So basically, in a way, if this is gonna continue pushing higher, and if, let's say, the pair manages to kind of get above the 126.60 and close the day above that, then, well, I mean, this could be a bit of a worry sign for the bears, because of course we do have this downside resistance line here taken from the peak of the 7th of November. The only thing is that it could be a bit of a tentative one, so probably the traders could eventually ignore this line and continue pushing higher if the pair manages to get back above the 126.60. And the 126.60 was marked here by the lows of the 15th of August. So keep your eyes on that one. Certainly, if this, let's say, doesn't reach that area today, I mean, given that we had a nice push here to the upside, we had a nice strong, we're still having a nice strong daily candle here to the upside, we could potentially have a continuation move to the upside tomorrow, which maybe then could break probably maybe tomorrow we could break that 126.60 level and then close the day above it. So of course, this is just an idea, guys, something for you to keep an eye on. But if we do have this close, let's say, especially on the weekly candle, if we get a close above the 126.60, that means the bulls are not willing to give up yet, and we could see maybe a bit of a change in the direction here. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. Let's see what happens, and be very careful, especially with this pair. Okay, guys, I hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening. And if you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Traders Espresso, and that's 7 o'clock GMT time, so but for now, I hope you have a fantastic trading day for those who are still trading. But for those who are finished for today, have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.